Hey everyone, I'm back in the shop today. I've got my Honda CB750 This is a K2 1972 model. I want to synchronize the carbs, make sure they're synchronized actually, but there's a few other tasks to do before we get to that. And so the place we're going to start is with the cam chain tensioner. So today we're going to do a video on adjusting the cam chain tensioner today on Motonexus. So before we start adjusting the cam chain tensioner, the first thing that we were going to do is make sure that cylinders 1 and 4 are at top dead center. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to pull this cover off, and we're going to take off the intake side of the number 1 cylinder on the other side of the bike, and then we'll turn the crank until we get to top dead center on the compression stroke. And the way we're going to do that is just to check and see that that valve is loose. And if that rocker arm is loose, then we know we're on the compression stroke, and we can go ahead and set the cam chain tension. So let's go ahead and get started with that. All right, so we're over on the left side of the bike at number 1 cylinder. So if you're sitting on the bike, this would be the left side. And we're just going to take off the intake cap. Again, these shouldn't be on very tight. Take a little peek at that O-ring. It looks like it's in real good shape. All right, so now we can see inside where the markings are at. And we can see right there that right now we're at the cylinder 2-3 markings, and we want to be at 1-4. So we're going to slowly turn this. There's the firing point and top dead center. Okay, here we come, 1-4. And there's fire and top dead center. So let's go around the other side of the bike and see if we're in the right position. If we're not, on the compression stroke, then the rocker arm won't be loose, and we'll go around a full turn and find it again. So if we just take a look over here, and I can wiggle it. I don't know if you can hear that, but I can wiggle it. So we're on the compression stroke. So right back here is the housing for the cam chain tensioner, and this nut and bolt down here in this dark space, that is our adjustment nut. But we've got a lot of stuff in the way here, and actually it's mostly in the way of the video. You could do this without taking this apart, but I like to take the bottom, on this bike anyway, take the bottom of the air cleaner off, get it out of the way so I can lift the hoses up. And I think what I'm going to do today is actually measure, because see, there's a hole in the end here, and there's a rod that's on a spring that this nut is holding in place. So what we want to do is just loosen this so that the rod and the spring will push the rod against the cam chain tensioner, the plastic plate in here. And we're going to measure this just to see if we actually make any difference. So let's get on with removing the bottom of this air box so that we can all see better. All right. So you can see on the bottom of the air box, there's just some wing nuts here. And so I'll get in there and crack those loose. Carefully remove this side cover. There we go. Now, the other thing I'm going to do before I put this back together is I'm going to make sure that this air cleaner is clean and blow it out so that the air going through the air box when I'm tuning the carbs is also not a problem. So I can probably work with the hoses in place the way that they are. So the next thing I want to do is I want to measure where that rod is inside here before I loosen it. And I've got my little digital measuring tool, and we're just gonna run the tip here down inside of the tube. Let's zero that out. Okay. .344. That actually felt better. It was right in the middle. All right. So now we'll adjust the cam chain tensioner, tighten it up, and check it again. All right. So all we're going to do now, let me lift the hoses out of the way. You can see you have a bolt and a nut. We're going to loosen this nut. That's the lock nut. And then we're going to loosen the bolt to take the tension off and let the spring do the work. Shouldn't be too tight. Spin that down a little bit. And let's loosen this. We might even hear it go. So we'll just finger tighten the bolt. Give it a little snug, not too much. No reason to go all crazy on these. All right, let's measure it again. .360. Well, that's it for today. Very short video adjusting the cam chain tensioner. I hope you felt that was useful or in some way entertaining watching me fumble around. I'm going to wrap it up for today. Mrs. Motonexus would like to go to the grocery store, and so I need to get this all done and buttoned up and off to other things. The next step in the whole process of getting to the carburetors, which is the ultimate project that I'm after, is to sync those carbs, is going to be to pull all the caps and the spark plugs, and we're going to check the gap on all of the valves, intake and exhaust sides, make sure that those are accurate. A little more involved and a little fussy, so we're just going to take our time. And then after that's done, we'll fire the bike up and I'll check the timing with a timing light, and we'll make sure that we're firing exactly as we should be. With all of that in balance, then we'll go ahead and hook up this brand new tool I've got from DigiSync. I can't wait to try it. It's their 6-channel digital carburetor synchronizer. I have others, gauges and manometers and whatnot, but I'm anxious to try this new toy that we just got in, and we'll see how close the carbs really are. Are they out of sync? Are they close? Can we make them better? That's what we're after. I hope you had some fun. Look, if you like these videos, thanks a lot. Head on over to motonexus.com. Check out the auctions we have going. There's some cool bikes up. And if you've got a bike or a car, a cool car, a boat, an RV that you want to get sold at auction, sellers don't pay fees. Buyers pay a very small fee. No matter how cheap the bike is, there's no minimum. And so you get the lowest price possible in an online auction. Click the subscribe button here, and Hope you'll leave some comments down below. Anything you want to know, anything you'd like to see us do, please let us know. You can reach us through the comments. We check them, we respond, or you can email us through motonexus.com. That's moto, Nexus.com. And we'll see you next time with the next video.